Alright, hello to any and all who may be watching. Once again, I am using a phone video trying to prop this thing up properly so that we can see enough. Today I will be going through the code that we did for the video lectures this time around. Starting off was all of the stuff with just the initial setup of our proximity sensor, which has very loose pins. Let me pick this up and show you right here. Very loose pins, so I have to kind of keep that carefully there. But if I run the code on my laptop for that one, I did not mean to just comment out one thing. Hold up. So running the simple code here, let me show you kind of what's happening. This is compiling right now. It shouldn't be too much longer right here, but the basic thing for this was we were putting them in the pin and trying to ensure we could find it. We did this by calling our the library that was built for this specific device right here, and using that to find out where the item was. We will be pulling our everything here, proximity, ambient light, raw white light, etc. from that. And if I run that right now, as you can see, we are able to get all that information. When I cover it, all of the light goes away, proximity goes up. When I take my hand off, proximity goes down, whatever. Moving on to the second thing that we did, this was the second video right here. We have our scanner, which we wanted to see and check to see what ports we were having, what devices are available, stuff like that right here. So if we look over the code real quick, starting from the very top, we described where our pins were going to be located. In this case, I'm going to be doing it for 21 and 22 because those are the internal ports and have very cool outcomes when I do stuff for that. If I then go through and check all of the addresses that we find online, basically, for this device, which is 128 of them, we can go through and call for each of them, basically, and see if we find any of them, which is kind of what's happening here. Checking our devices as we did earlier with our wire begin transmission. By the way, if we don't call the wire begin right here, it does break and not show anything because it'll start showing null value, basically. So going through and running this to see what happens will give us our new thing right here. Let me wait for that to compile and see if we can show you. I don't know if you can see that properly. I don't know if I'm even showing this fully properly, but I'm trying my best with that. I can't flip the camera position of my phone for some reason. All right, as you can see, that finished right there. If we go to the serial print, you can see that we found our 3 devices that were expected to be found. These ones go to, I believe, there are a couple ports that they go into. They mentioned them in the video, but I can't remember exactly which one this goes to. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Port is getting not a robot, but going through for that one, that's the I2C address right there, and just the default right there. Similarly, going through it real quick, I'm gonna see if I could do this before hitting 5 minutes because I've wasted a bit of time on simply trying to find this stuff. If I comment out the 21 and bring back the 33 right here, (32 and 33), we will get our different result, which instead of all of the 3 different addresses, we will only have 1 address, which I believe is just the default pin area still. And after this, you can see what I learned basically over this last lesson. So running that real quick and then checking our serial monitor. You can see we found 1 address, and that is 60. And basically, that's what we did in the video lecture, setting up all this code, setting up the device, and yeah. Thank you for your time. Have a good night.